Okay, let's unpack this. I mean, I want you to imagine staring at a standard wall outlet.
Right, just a normal outlet.
Yeah, but instead of like a place to plug in a vacuum cleaner or a lamp, it's actually a high-tech gateway directly into a professional audio matrix.
Which is pretty wild to think about.
It is. So today, our mission for this deep dive is to decode a really specific source. We're looking at an HDTVSupply product listing for the QSC unDX2IO plus network XLR audio wall plate.
Quite a mouthful, honestly.
Right. But we're going to explore exactly why edge network hardware like this is, quietly replacing traditional infrastructure.
And doing it almost invisibly. I mean, the footprint is just a standard dual gang US junction box.
Just a standard wall box.
Yeah, just a dual gang box. But the engineering density hiding behind that little plate, well, that's what completely changes how commercial audio is built.
Right, because it's running on standard 802.3 AFPoE, power over Ethernet. So we're talking about a single Cat-T5 or Cat-6 cable handling the entire payload. It's kind of like a digital multi-tool. You're sucking your electricity, your brain, like the control data and your voice, all through one tiny organized straw.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you are entirely eliminating the need for bulky, isolated power supplies at the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you just pull a single network cable, and you've instantly turned an endpoint into a full-fledged network node.
Okay, so let's look at the actual payload riding through that straw. The listing details 2 balanced mic and line XLR inputs, plus 2 XLR line outputs.
And 48 volts of phantom power per channel.
Yes, phantom power too. Crucially, all of those inputs and outputs are available to be used separately, but simultaneously. And it also notes that it's Dante Domain Manager ready.
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer thermal and electronic management required for that. You have to cram massive analog headroom and 48-volt phantom power generation into this tiny, totally unventilated wall box.
Right, heat is usually a huge issue there.
Exactly. And instead of just acting as an analog pass-through, it digitizes that high-end audio right at the edge. It drops it seamlessly onto the IT network using Dante and AES67 protocols.
Wait, here's where it gets really interesting to me. So you've got 4 simultaneous channels of uncompressed audio, plus control data, plus power, all running constantly on a single twisted pair cable. How are we avoiding a complete digital traffic jam?
Or a latency nightmare, right?
Yeah. How does the network not just choke?
Because the hardware isn't just blasting raw data and hoping it lands safely. Dante and AES67 rely heavily on precision time protocol.
Or PTP, right?
Exactly, PTP. It synchronizes clocks across the network down to the actual microsecond. And when you combine that with strict quality of service tagging on the network switch...
Wait, so the switch knows what's important?
Yes. The system actively prioritizes those specific audio packets over just regular background IT traffic. It ensures absolute phase alignment and zero dropouts, regardless of what else is happening on the switch.
So what does this all mean for the actual installation? The price tag is listed at $1,145.
Which sounds like a lot for a wall plate.
Right. Is over $1,000 justifiable for what is essentially an edge I/O plate?
Well, you really have to evaluate the total cost of ownership. For the commercial integrators that HDTVSupply has serviced for 25 years, it's actually incredibly cost-effective.
How so? Because of the cabling.
Exactly. Think about the alternative. You'd be pulling hundreds of feet of heavy, specialized copper analog snake all the way back to some central DSP rack.
Oh, wow, yeah. The raw copper cost alone is staggering.
Yeah.
Not to mention the specialized labor required to terminate all those connections.
Right. By utilizing existing cheap Ethernet infrastructure, the labor and material savings easily dwarf the hardware cost of the plate itself. You're effectively buying a massive, highly reliable shortcut.
That makes total sense.
Plus, it comes with a standard 3-year factory warranty that QSC actually doubles to 6 years just by registering the product.
Which really fundamentally shifts the architecture of these spaces. So for you listening, the next time you're sitting in a high-end conference room or like a massive sports bar.
And you're wondering where the giant trunks of audio cables are hiding.
Exactly. You'll know the secret.
Yeah.
They just don't exist. All that heavy lifting is decentralized, sitting quietly inside standard dual gang boxes right on the wall.
Pushing the processing power right out to the very edge of the network.
Completely. And it leaves us with this final thought to ponder. If a single standard internet cable can now simultaneously deliver reliable power, complex data, and professional control systems.
Where does it end?
Right. How long until our own homes abandon traditional, dangerous electrical wiring entirely in favor of smart, low-voltage network cables for literally everything we plug into a wall?